Alex, it's exactly what I've been saying for the last 6 months, that I really don't think that the government at any level, whether it's state or local, has quite the power in this big country that's spread out across everywhere to make everybody show up at a certain place and force them to get a vaccine. But they can make it really, really hard to refuse it. And the really hard to refuse it is that list of things that you already said. And, you know, you can't go to places where there's large congregations, which could be church, could be the grocery store, could be if you have a place of employment that has more than 30 or 40 people, that they would hire a security guard at the door, and you have to either show your digital chip or your card that looks like a driver's license.
Or bracelet.
Or a bracelet or anything like that. And, you know, I'm just this doctor out here in Cleveland, Ohio. And if I can think of that and you can think of that, certainly those who would be making those sorts of tools can be thinking of that.
No, they're saying that's what they're going to do under level 6.
And I've been saying it for 6 months, that was probably that I was very suspicious that was coming down the road. So now it's just coming out into full view, and the playbook is being opened up, and more and more people are hearing about it.
You're right. We're a 90% urban society. When we had the Great Depression, we were 20% urban. We're totally dependent on government. The highways were designed by the Pentagon and President Eisenhower, and the Pentagon brags. This is how they control our society. They control the resources. They control our currency. The UN, Maurice Strong, the head of their program in '92 at the Rio de Janeiro summit, we have his quotes in the new film, said they were going to deindustrialize us to make us go into their control for eugenics. And this may be the big final giant beta test to then launch the main attack in the next 2 to 3 years, or this could be it. And I think they're gauging, testing the public, testing our response, and have it in between red light and blue and green light. They are looking, and I believe in the next week or two are going to make the decision. And I've really learned how to guess what they're going to do. They're making the decision whether this is the final beta test or if they're going to go live right now. And God help us.
You know, there was a report that came out from a meeting that happened in Washington just a couple weeks ago. And one of the people from the autism community from Safe Minds wrote a report about what was happening at that meeting. And they were talking about what level the insider, the flu vaccine people who were all there. There were only 2 people who were non-government and CDC employee insiders at this meeting, and it was an invitation-only meeting. And Barbara Lowe Fisher, and I'm sorry, I can't remember the other woman's name, but she's from Safe Minds, was at this meeting, and she wrote a report and said that, you know, most people, when they went out and did those town hall meetings, that the vast majority of people said they needed to go slow, either very slow, intermediate, or fast. And it was the government officials who said, we need to take this at the highest level and we need to vaccinate everybody. It was 55% of them.
Well, let me confirm what you're saying. We had Wayne Madsen, who went to that big international, somewhat government-run swine flu symposium 3 weeks ago in D.C. And we got their internal program and the cover. In fact, we broke that it was originally happening as a listener in D.C., sent it to us, and then we covered it all. And no, that was discussed openly. And then one of the government people said, kick the media out of here, turn off recording devices. And the whole thing was about what will the public accept. And now we broke at prisonplanet.com last week an article that had the government document in it. They're sending to business owners, even small ones. And the questionnaires there saying, will you forcibly inoculate your employees? Will you do what you're told? Will you go to quarantine centers? So it's confirmed. The feds are testing with their antennae out in the wind to decide if they're going to make their move. We're being studied by the psychological warfare system. Right now, they're making the decision. And God help us.
Well, Alex, what's the solution here? How do we mobilize people to make a decision of what they're going to do to protect their families and their communities? How do we get, what's the how-to? I mean, there's, you know, we send out a lot of information. I mean, you give information hour after hour every day. I do a lot of radio. I'm on the Internet a lot. I write a lot of articles. And the bottom line is people say, okay, this is great. I'm hearing what you're saying, but what should I do? What's my how-to?
Well, we can't tell you get sunshine and get colloidal silver. We can't. I mean, we're telling you they're going to set up checkpoints, so they decide to drop the hammer. All I can do is try to reach as many people as I can, and spend up most of my time just trying to fund my operation. I mean, it's not a powerlessness. We know we're reaching more people than ever, but it doesn't look like it's enough soon enough. And I don't know, what are the solutions, doctor? I mean, all I can do is sit here and go, okay, Bayer knowingly put HIV and hepatitis in all these shots and killed all these people, MSNBC. Okay, they nerve gas troops in Project Shad. Okay, they radiated foster children, 4,300 of them. I wouldn't trust anything this government does. Okay, the White House science czar wrote a 1,100-page government textbook saying they want to poison us and sterilize us through vaccines and water, and the UN's declassified that in tetanus shots they sterilized Asian, African, and Latin American women. I mean, we know they're a bunch of lunatic Nazi killers, and they just keep killing us. It's like I live in Nazi Germany, and I'm going, Hitler's bad, Hitler's bad, Hitler's bad. And I send my guys to Pennsylvania. They go up and ask to speak to the military liaison officer. The police come and say they're terrorists and put them on terror list. I mean, it's just insanity.
So, is there any hope? I mean, what do we do? I mean, you're absolutely right, and nobody can refute your research or your data or anything that you say. But when all politics is local and all protection happens within the confines of your own house. So we have to get people to not be afraid of their neighbors, to go and talk to other people, let them know to go to Prison Planet and to Infowars and read the material and listen to your show and listen to what I have to say and go to Pandemic Flu Online and download those flyers and hand them out to everybody that they know and let everybody around, because everybody in their neighborhood know that when they start coming to your door, this is what's going to happen. And if you take the shot, this is what might happen to you. So,
and you better know that a shot they're trying to make you take is bad. I mean, their history, when they try to force something, this is the hot needle. Dr. Tenpenny, stay there. I want to come back and take some calls with you. drtenpenny.com. We'll put it up on screen for everybody who's also watching at prisonplanet.tv with Simulcast, the radio show there. I got a wife and 3 children. I got a grandmother, I got my parents, and I am so angry.